We've burned all our bridges one too many times. The time has come now to draw the line. You know you got to stand, stand for what you believe.
At home here in a church setting, I attended Southeastern Baptist Theological Seminary. I'm also a former Marine. I'm currently a small business owner. I'm self-employed. And I welcome the opportunity to come to you tonight and explain who I am, what I'm about, and ask for the opportunity to represent you in the North Carolina State House. I am a strong fiscal conservative, and I also believe that the government has gotten involved in far too many things that it has no business being involved in. We have a crisis in North Carolina today. We have a failure of jobs, and that comes about from the overregulation of the small businesses that creates a burden that does not allow them to have the resources to hire more people. If we want our small businesses to have the opportunity to hire people, and if we hire people, that brings more revenues for government, which would address those very budget shortfalls, then we need to remove these onerous burdens on our small businesses, allow them the resources to expand their operations and to hire new people. And I'm going to talk to you about some things that you'll never hear a politician talk to you about. One of the problems we have in America today, America imprisons more people per capita than any other nation on earth. America has the highest per capita incarceration rate than any nation on earth. And North Carolina is one of the highest states for incarceration in the United States. Now, we are supposed to be the land of the free. We have a constitution of limited government that is supposed to limit what the government can and cannot do. By ignoring the Constitution, by over-regulating not just the companies but the people, then we have the government running our lives. And I'll tell you, just because we cannot see the bars of our cages does not mean that we're free. And these are some of the issues that we have to address in the North Carolina State Assembly and in government in general. We have to restore the Constitution. I'm a constitutional conservative. I have been a defender of the Constitution since I raised my hand and swore an oath in the United States Marine Corps. To the day I die, I will stand and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of North Carolina. And I believe that all of us working together can stand up and restore the American government that our founders envisioned and, quite frankly, failed to bring about. And I do believe that we can do that. We can actually deliver freedom to every man, woman, and child in America and move beyond an America that's divided by peoples and groups and come to an America where we're all Americans, we're all free, and we all have the opportunity of the American dream. My name is Glen Bradley. I'm asking for your support. I'm asking for your vote for North Carolina State House in November. And once again, I very much appreciate the opportunity to come here and express my views. And thank you so much, Reverend. And God bless you all.
All right. Thank you. But my question specifically is, how do you prevent young black men from continuing to be incarcerated?
I would love to be able to see past race when we're looking at this question. For me personally, I believe there is only one race, and that's the human race. As a matter of fact, I filled in my census and turned it in, and that's what I wrote. Other human. I'm a human race. That's it. But the reality, and you're right, we have to look at this. When black men and women make up 12 to 13% of drug users and 50% of drug convictions, something's being done wrong.
That's right.
You know, there's no question about it. And I believe that one of the biggest out of proportion systems whereby black men and women are imprisoned is through the war on drugs. Now today, it is easier for a child in high school to go out and get a bag of crystal meth than it is for him to go out and get a can of beer. And I'll tell you the truth, that's a tragedy. That's an absolute tragedy. And if we do want to address this, and I am dead serious that we need to address drug use, abuse, and addiction, what we're doing isn't working, and it's having a disproportionate impact on the black community. And the people are going to tell you, the people in power, the people that are elected, they're going to tell you, well, we got to keep doing it the way we've been doing it because that's the only way it's going to be. We can't talk about trying a different way because they will laugh you off the stage. You'll never get elected. Well, I say we can prove them wrong because this is our time. This is the time to change it, and this is the time to make it the system fair for everyone.
Reflecting on your past, can you point to some actions that would reassure the voters that you're going to act in their interest and not your own?
Chills, and I don't try to have those hang-ups. Get close to me.
I also grew up poor. I'm still poor today. I had an opportunity to do well with my own business in 2007, and I gave that up. I gave that up because I knew that our country and our state was in trouble. And I have lived on rice and ramen noodles for 2.5, 3 years now because I have devoted my entire life as an activist towards restoring the constitutional order. Nothing in this world is more important to me than restoring the Constitution. Not money, not cars, not fame. I would rather lose, completely lose and get buried in the ground if it meant that we could restore the Constitution. And because of that, I assure you with all that I can and all my integrity that I will serve with integrity towards that goal.
My question is, what can be done to enforce these companies that say they have breast felons and then turn these?
I can't ask any questions or anything.
Well, if they did get a tax credit, which is probably what happened, because that's usually what happens. These businesses get a major tax credit in order to hire former felons. And that's definitely something that is covered under fraud. That's what it is. It's a fraud. And fraud is already illegal. These companies can be taken to court. They can be made to pay all those back taxes. Now, I'm not one to say that a company, I believe in freedom and the free market, so I'm not one to say that a company should be forced to hire whom, they do and don't want to. But if they've made an agreement, then they have to honor that agreement. If they made an agreement for tax breaks in order to hire former felons, then that's something that they need to honor, and they need to be held to that. We can use the system of fraud, and we can also charge all those back taxes back quite simply. Another avenue to approach to accomplish the very same thing is to expand the program for expunging first-time felons for non-violent issues, non-heinous crime issues and things like that. If there's no actual victim of the felony, it should be much easier to expunge the record of that, and that will put them in a position to make it more easier to get a job.